Okay, I'm going to record this too so that Emily can see it later if she wants to. Okay, here's my. I'm going to. Ah,
Hello.
good morning.
Hey, Bojana.
I'm glad you pronounced it first. Bojana? Good
Hey, Mark.
morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. I was just about ready to start screen share. I figured that's probably the best way to go. And then I can try to explain what I'm about to do or trying to do or failing to do. You can see this, the successes and the failures. Oh, we got someone else.
What was it? Liz told us one day, Liz Hausberg, that it's WD-40. It's called WD-40 because the guy got the mix right, the recipe right on his 40th try.
Okay.
Well,
Hopefully we won't be doing this 40 tries yet. Hopefully we'll be back in church in 40 weeks, but like I said, we don't know. Okay, so anyway, here we go. I'm going to share the screen. Is that working? Can you see
Yeah.
my screen?
yes.
There's iMovie. Before I get into the iMovie, let me show you sort of how I organize it. Everybody, of course, will have their own way of doing it. Up here on my left is the order of service that Sue sends me, and she nicely organizes everything as to how long and the order, obviously, and what it is. And so then I've created. Now I'm on the Apple, as you are, Mark.
Right.
Now this is the Dropbox folder. This is my Dropbox folder. And this is all the crap I have in it, because I have all my business stuff in here too. But then I have a folder down here, UU Service Archive. But this is the only folder that you would be able to see. That's the one I've invited you to share and have invited people to upload into.
Okay.
It looks a lot different when you're actually in the Dropbox online. Let me see.
So what you, just to clarify for me, what you do is you have people who are participating in the service, Sue, Ellen, whoever, drop their files in that Dropbox.
That is correct. And I create I can create the Dropbox on my desktop on Apple, but then to invite people to share or upload, I have to go to Dropbox on the internet, which I'm showing you right now.
Right.
This is just the service for May 10th folder. And over here on the right, you can share the folder. In other words, these people that share the folder can edit the files in the folder, do whatever the hell they want.
John,
Yes.
when you sent me permission, to access this Dropbox so I could see this, you sent it to my Yahoo account. For some reason, I have another account that had Dropbox, and I ended up doing something in Dropbox. Said, okay, you need to request that Thorndike at Gmail can access this, and it went back to you, presumably.
Huh. Oh, I did see that.
And so I never could get into the Dropbox.
I thought I clicked on that to give you permission. I wasn't sure why I got that, because usually I don't get a feedback like that. I thought I clicked on it, but when we end this, I'll go back in and see. Rather than me search my email right now and find
Right, but that will give me all of this then
Correct.
to play with on a Windows platform.
Right. I might have invited you, because I think I was inviting you guys into an earlier service to play with.
Right.
But at any rate, Yeah, I'll go back and see if I can straighten that out. But I thought I'd clicked on it. But of course, there's a lot of things I think I do. I find emails I've written and have not sent
Yeah.
days later.
Yeah, so do I.
But anyway, so the difference is the share folder, like these are who it's shared. There you are. And I didn't know you had multiple email addresses, so I just used the one that probably took it off of one of Sue's emails.
Yeah, that's my usual one, but my Dropbox happened to have been associated with another one. And when I tried to
Okay.
do it with this email address,
If you probably
it didn't cooperate.
because Google owns everything, and I guess it doesn't own Yahoo yet. So,
That could be.
but at any rate, so if I want to just ask somebody to upload a file to the folder, which is usually easier if they're not actually going to be working on the service, there's this little thing here. It says request files, and you click on it, and you put the person's, you give a title to what you're asking for, and then you can, I got to enter some. But basically, then you would enter an email address. But actually, I don't know, Mark, you might not be wanting to use Dropbox because you sent me that test movie you did. You did that on Google Drive. Correct? You there?
I did, and what I did was I tried to accept your Dropbox invitation, and it wanted me to buy a Dropbox program after 7 days. Does that sound right?
No, that doesn't. I don't know. They're getting really more proprietary these days.
Right.
I don't know. It doesn't sound right. That's the first I've heard.
Understanding that I'm an analog guy living in a digital world, I will try it again. I'm more familiar with the Google Docs. That's why I did that. It was just send out an invitation or a clearance or whatever, and you just send it. Yeah, it was all good.
Right. Okay. But yeah, whatever you guys, when it comes your turn, whatever you want to use,
Okay.
It would be your choice. And you might want to talk to Don. Don uses has been using OneDrive.
Yes, Mark, I wanted to say that Donna was planning to set up a particular folder just for the services on OneDrive.
Okay, that's a Microsoft thing.
That's a Microsoft thing.
And I
And
think
the church has all its.
Okay, Shayla bought a package, a Microsoft package for the family, and she said it might come with OneDrive already, but whatever Don's doing, I'll do it that way.
UUFE has an account, so you can just log in as, with their account and credentials, and everything will be together there in the folder.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's cross-platform though. So it's
All right.
Dropbox. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. So back to the order of service. Say we have everything, and of course I have everything except Ellen, so it seems to be pretty much how it goes every week. She's the kind of perfectionist, I take it, and likes to get it exactly correct before she submits it.
So where on there, I'm looking at the rundown, where on there would be file number 1?
Opening titles. So I put a number. I haven't got them all numbered, but so we started. I put a number out front, so that automatically puts it in order in the file, or in the folder. I'm sorry, it puts the files in order in the folder. So I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I haven't numbered all of them.
And
So,
where your cursor is in your Dropbox.
Correct.
And then the black screen with the pictures in it is the editing program, iMovie.
That is iMovie.
Okay.
And that's showing other projects. I haven't started yet.
I see. Okay, so you go down to your drive and you pull out file number 1.
Well, actually, something I have to do is Sue sends me the titles and the slides with the titles and credits and whatnot, and this lyrics to the hymns as a what do you call it? It's PowerPoint. So actually, let me do that. So this is what Sue sends me.
I see.
So you have the different, there's the opening credit, opening titles, credit, or the title for Thoughts for All Ages. Now what I have to do with this is I have to separate these out, because if I export it, actually, you know, you might be able to, I don't know if iMovie can just take this automatically and render it as a film strip. I don't know that. I haven't tried it. So
Right, that's what you had mentioned in an email to me.
Yeah. So what I do is I take each one by themselves and I export it as a JPEG. So I go up here, upper left, export, and it spins its wheels. And then I give it the name. I've already done this, so I won't do it again, but I give it a name. Now the trick is you have to, down here it says file format. If you export it as a PDF, you get all of them. I don't know if iMovie will take a PDF, a multi-page PDF, and create a slideshow out of it. I haven't tried. So what I do, just to keep things simple, keep me in control of it, is to change the PDF to a JPEG. And you have to say save current slide only, and then you can export it. You probably could export them all and then separate it in iMovie, but anyway, there's a million ways. I'm sure there's a million ways to do everything. This is the way I do it.
This is true.
So I'm going to cancel that, and I'll put that back there. So we'll just work with the first 3 or 4 files now. And there's no sense of sitting through the whole thing. You don't want to be here all day. Hopefully.
May I ask one more question?
You can ask as many questions as you want.
Okay. I do the newsletter, and because not everybody comes in with what they want included in the presumed deadline, I put it together as I get the pieces so that I don't have to do it all at the last minute. Is it possible to also do that when you're editing the video? So
Yeah.
Let's say you get 5 out of the, 11 things? Can you put them in and then stitch the other components in as you get them?
There's no problem doing that. You can do that really 2 ways, because at the end, when you have everything stitched together, you would render it, you would export it as a file, and that's the whole unit.
Okay.
You could do that for each series of clips that you get in at a time, and then you could stitch those units together at the end. Like for instance, last week we had everything except Ellen's one of her pieces.
Right.
And it turned out the reason we didn't have that is because she had tried to upload everything at the same time. And apparently sometimes that Dropbox they'll only take the first file and they just kind of ignore the rest of them. So she didn't even know we didn't have it. She had uploaded it in her mind. But David had stitched everything together except for that one file, and he exported it so that I could have it. And well, it's turned out I couldn't get Ellen's file, but if I could have gotten Ellen's file, I could, and David's power went out, then I could have taken what he had done and put her file in there, and then it would have been complete. But so do that.
Okay.
You understand that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that answered my question.
Okay. Good. Sometimes I over-explain.
I know that in the iMovie you have the split clip option.
Right.
So if you've got a bunch of things that you've already put into your edited package, right? You can
Yep.
just
You
then
just yeah, you would put, yeah, exactly. You would put the what you have already in there, and then you would split it where you want to insert the new piece, and that's no problem. No problem at all. So, well, let's go ahead should I go ahead and start loading stuff up?
Sure.
Create a new, okay, it says create a new movie, and I don't know. I don't understand why it gives me a choice of a movie or a trailer. But we'll ignore the trailer. And now the thing I still don't know how to give it a name initially. It always says My Movie 3, and it allows me to change the name when I export it, or I can just change the name when I get it in the folder. But anyway, so it's My Movie 3 for the duration. So what I do, all you have to do with iMovie is you just drag your pieces up there. And, oops, okay. And I actually can select more than one. I'll do that.
And are these considered clips or sequences?
They're clips.
Okay.
Each one of these would be a clip. Now, again, that could be terminology. Like if I stitched all those together and created one little movie out of it, then that would be, you could call it a series of sequences. But it's,
Okay.
and then each one of these, I just say clip.
Okay.
So now it did not, for some reason, it doesn't put these in order like I have it in the folder. So I kind of gotta know which ones go where. And so I happen to know this is first, but say I want to find out what the name of sometimes like which one of these pictures of Sue is the one that's the call to service, and which one is the chalice lighting. I mean, you could look at the chalice behind her, I suppose, and figure that out. But you also can go to the information for a folder, and there's a little I up here. Of course, this probably wouldn't pertain to you, but so it gives me the next. This is number 4. So, but at any rate,
Nice.
it's just one of those little details that you'll probably have to figure out later. So you put the first one there. Now, it comes in, and automatically, this program brings it in automatically at 6 seconds. Now, Sue wants this at 30 seconds. So that's easily done, but to make it a little easier, I can change the how big this is on the timeline. In other words, zoom in or out. Now, if I go all the way to the lowest setting, this is what you see, and what it came in at is pretty much the biggest setting. But what I want to do is I want to drag this out to 30 seconds. So I just grab hold of this bar here, and you can see there's a number up there that's 5.2 seconds. It goes to thousandths of a second. That's pretty crazy, but at any rate, take her down to 30 seconds, and that's close enough for 30 seconds. Now, I would like to probably put some sound behind that, but I'm not going to mess with it now because I don't know. I have to be a little cautious putting sound in, and I like to also put pictures that I pull up in on my own. But I have to be a little careful and clear it with Sue usually because, I don't want to be, I have a tendency to get humorous.
I knew there was a reason you liked my jokes.
but I'm not. But it's not always appropriate, so I have to be a little careful. And actually, that's something I do, and this is not necessarily something you might do, but just to give you an idea, like I go around the internet, and I pick up pictures that I think might be pertinent for this particular service. So this week I kind of pulled out some pictures of kids, international pictures, and I put them in a folder. And I'll probably use these at the end credits because I have a little more freedom down there at the end to play with it. You know, things like this.
You call that artistic license, right?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Exactly right. So.
I call that if they don't like it, they can pay somebody else to do it.
So hey, a quick question for you. So in the timing, understanding the timeline of this,
Yes.
as you dragged that opening credit out, the time increased to your 30-second mark. I get that. The split time in the bottom gray box at the top of it in the center, the 03 and the 30.06. What is that? What is that in reference to?
What? Now wait a minute. Where are you? I'm having. Where are you talking about here?
I'm looking at your
03.
iMovie box.
Right. 03. I guess that's where it starts. I guess that's 3/100ths of a second, and then the 30.06 is the duration of the movie itself so far. So that is. Why does it say 03? I don't know.
Yeah, because it was confusing me, and I mean, I picked the wrong thing to do for my test, trying to match up the audio with because you want to see the fingers playing.
Right.
And so that was a nightmare trying to figure out the timing, but I figured it was a test thing, and hopefully they'll never ask me to do that.
Normally you really don't. I don't try. I try not to mess with the audio when you have someone playing or singing.
Right.
Now I did do it on our Earth Day service, and it was off a little tiny bit. Now I could tell. I'm sure everybody could tell, but nobody, because it would have been beyond my pay grade to actually get it perfect and nobody. Yeah. So
okay. Cool.
Lower expectations. That's what we're doing here. So at any rate, so that's in there. Then we have call to service, which I guess is this one. And now I'm not going to mess with the time of that. Now you can this is the playhead here. This white line, and so okay, you're not going to hear anything when it's on the title because there's nothing there to hear. But then, okay, I go up to the upper right, and it's just like your regular video. You have your play button and your pause button, and for some reason it's not playing, which is I don't understand why. Come on. Why is it not playing?
Is that like am I hearing like merry-go-round music?
Well, that's the stereo on the other side of the room.
Oh, okay.
It's a classical piece. It's WBJC out of Baltimore. So. Now I'm really okay. I've never seemed to have experienced this before. Why is it not playing? Okay, now it's playing. Maybe I had to expand it a little bit, but okay, so it goes, and Donut.
Welcome. I'm Reverend Sue Browning. I am the minister who serves the Unitarian Universalists of the Chester River and the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Easton, two congregations on the East.
And Sue's very good at giving a little bit of quiet lead in.
Yes.
So that you're not upcutting too quickly and cutting off the first word or whatever. So hopefully everybody knows to do that, or to leave a little bit of tail at the end.
Exactly. I sometimes I do. People have a tendency to leave too much trail at the end, or they turn around and do something. And you can, and obviously you can just cut that off. But the other benefit of having those little trails front and back is if you have sound coming in, or okay, I'm going to put Phil in next. Philip, he likes to be called Philip, because he does the Spirit of Life. So it's what you can do on here is, okay, this, so I want to say, I want to, I'm going to increase the zoom a little bit too. Let's see. Let's see how she cuts off here. See how much time we have. Okay, we have a fair amount of time here. I'm probably going to cut some of her off before we get into Phil. But in the meantime, what I can do, see, I can have the music start while Sue is still on screen, and then it comes in and shows Phil, but the music is already started. So,
Oh, how do you do that one?
Yeah, I liked that, especially
okay,
since it's a long introduction.
right, exactly. So at any rate, so what you do, okay, you select that clip, Phil's clip, and I go all the way up here. There might be a shortcut. There probably is a shortcut to do this, but I haven't figured it. I haven't even bothered to find out yet. Oh, wait a minute, where is it? Modify. You go to modify, and hit detach audio. So there's the audio with Phil, and it's set. So now that's where you could get messed up, because you could end up, oh, I think I didn't want to do, yeah, I do want to do this. I run into a little bit of trouble here, but I'm trying to think, because I ran into a little bit of trouble with this last time, because if I cut Phil's video at this point, it tends to cut the, wait a minute, okay. I'm going to put the playhead there. I'm going to split the head, split clip. You see where this is
right.
up here in the upper right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I have split him out. Now, if I delete that, you see how this little green thing from the sound is attached up to Phil. If I delete that, the whole thing goes away. So I'm going to.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing. So I'm going to undelete that. And
That's what I was going to say. How do you, there is a undo in case you go, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that.
yeah, on the Apple, it's a Command Z.
Okay.
That takes you back a step. Now I'm going to figure out where I want to, in Sue's clip. Yeah, she's got quite a
tail.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be where I would want to split the clip. So okay, so now her clip is, I'll take that off, and then I'm going to try and drag that start point. But wait a minute, no, let's do it like this. Oh. See, I'm figuring things out as we go here. Yeah, okay, I gotta do this. Move that up there. Yeah, I won't do it. Okay, I'll do this. See, I can put that on another track, and then maybe.
And then slide Philip, or slide her.
Okay, slide her. Let's see if this is going to work. I've never done this before, so welcome to how we do figure things out around here. Yeah, it's still gonna. And it's really attached to there, and I really at this point. Okay, how now I know I can do this. Damn it. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. But okay, with this, where I want this, because it's going to be out of sync with his piano playing.
Right.
That'd be trouble. So the timeline where it was is up here, 30.06 hundredths of a second. So now we can get rid of that part of Phil, bring her back down in here, drag this back to 30. Now you really can.
Good to be together today. We're going to begin worship by ringing the bowl into the center.
Now we want this. There's probably a way to do this. No, okay, that's got to go. Now, probably what I want to do is move the timeline. So it's at 30.06. Boy, that, yeah, that can't be right.
That was the issue I was having with the Eamon thing, is trying to line that all up.
Yeah. You know, I have a feeling, what do we have here now? Oh, it's 30 point, yeah, it wasn't at 0.3006. Okay, now, it looks like I'm gonna be into it for doing it by hand, by eye. It looks like that's where I am now, unless I wanted to start over again.
Well, here's my other question then. Will not the text be shown on the screen instead of Philip?
No.
Oh, okay.
That text is just to identify the audio clip.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I meant the words for Spirit of Life.
No,
So you could get rid of the video and just keep the audio.
I could do that. And then, but I also could lay on the lyrics over Phil of Spirit of Life.
Oh, over him. Okay.
But I'm worried that I might have to. Okay, that's. Okay. So if you look up on this upper right, this is what you. Oh, looks pretty okay to me. Does anyone see it out of sync? Okay, that looked okay to me.
You're probably going to be the best person to tell, because there's absolutely no delay in what you're seeing and what we're hearing. So it looks right, but the last time I said that, I screwed it up. So
okay, well, and then let's do a transition in here too.
So all you're doing then is taking the green audio with that little mark there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the little mark is what it anchors it to.
Okay.
It's like your anchor point. And one other little trick you can do, I probably wouldn't do this, but I don't know, we could. See this little round dot up here? Grab hold of it and you pull it, and it gives you a fade in.
Oh,
That's cool.
yeah.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah, I really like that one. I use that where I can. And then the other thing, we have transition.
Where'd you grab that dot again?
Okay, you got to select. Well, actually, maybe you don't have to select it. You see at the end, this dark area here,
Yeah.
and then there's a dot here at the end. And when you're on the dot, it gives you an arrow, 2 arrows. That's what it is. Fade audio in.
I see.
So I could, I could really drag it out, whatever. About right. So then we can add a transition here. Okay, I already picked up transitions. Now I basically, there's only 2 that I use, and that's like a dissolve. So it's sort of one fades out and the other fades in. They have other ones that spiral in and all kinds of crappy all this stuff. But I figure that's unnecessary for what we're doing. So what you can do, you grab your transition, you just drag it in between them. And that'll give you a little bit of a
Okay.
And you can also change, from what I saw, you can change that transition time to make it longer or shorter.
You can, but it's trickier than what you think. So it's like, if I double click on it,
Right.
or control click or right click in a Windows system, you try to check, okay, it's 1 second. So let me say 3 seconds, and I say apply, and it's going to tell me, oh, it did it. Well, that's weird because that's the first time it's ever done it. But now you see the audio is kind of starting in the middle of the transition, which actually, probably wouldn't be too bad. But 3 seconds is probably too long for a transition. Let's try it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it. That seems okay.
We'll call that a judgment call. You can make a judgment call on that one.
Artistic license,
There
whatever.
you go.
Yeah, as interpreted by the artist.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say when we screw up in the shop. But now another thing we can do, you want to get fancy, is we could add lyrics to, like Phil's. Okay, so we figure out where. So actually, I take it back just a little bit. And then we can add a title, or basically it would be add the lyrics. And you have quite a choice up here. And I find that the simpler ones start up at the top left. And that's pretty much where you want to stay. You don't want to get into Star Wars effects or anything like that. And for something like the lyrics, I would keep it either on the bottom or the top.
Now, do you do lower thirds to identify people at all?
I would like to start doing that more.
Okay.
Because Sue basically gives us slides to put at the end. And it would not be a bad idea, especially with Ellen and Philip. You could start out, but it only gives you between his lyrics. Well, yeah, there's enough time to give his name and well, everyone knows Spirit of Life, right? Well, maybe not. So, put those in there.
Okay.
We could do, put this, put the title. Okay, so we put, yeah, you do Spirit of Life first. So we do Spirit. And now that's at 4 seconds. And then you could do add Philip's name. And I don't like to put them right next to each other. No, okay.
So this is what can be used, for instance, when Ellen does her solos and we don't have any clues what it is she's singing.
You know, and she never tells me.
Oh, okay.
And Sue does know, so I can ask her, and I have asked her. And yeah, I want to start doing that, but I feel like I better ask Ellen because she could, apparently you want to clear everything with Ellen before you mess with what she gives you.
Yes.
Well, and I'm looking at the rundown too, and closing him, for example, Sue does identify as number 95. There is more love somewhere.
Yeah, but and she gives
That's not the title. That's an incorrect title.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yes. Let me go find the correct title. I looked it up and that's not it.
Okay, well that's good to know because she gave me a slide with all the lyrics and the title. But yeah, it's like okay, number 7, video Ellen, and Sue has it defined as we will be seeing Ellen as she plays a mother's prayer. And so that's obvious. But there has been a couple times where I have not known the music, even. But I want to be a little more conscientious with that. Yes. So then, okay. That's the other, when you're doing titles, you have to be kind of careful because I find that, like, okay, you see, I thought I put Spirit of Life in here,
Oops.
but it's telling me that it did not accept my Spirit of Life. So let's try it again.
I'm sorry, that is correct. I found it somewhere else and under a different name.
As I say, when you enter text into these titles, I've had it happen several times where I've thought that I've entered the text, but then it reverts to just saying enter title. Basically reverts to default. I find that, Mark, for your benefit, that if you hit, after you enter the text, if you hit return twice, you have to hit return twice. Now, why? Who knows?
Okay.
But then that kind of locks it in there. So.
Another question regarding the audio, sometimes it's not balanced. Is that because of what you've received?
That is because of what we've received, exactly. And that's a very good point, because that is something that you have to do because they're not all the same. Sue's recordings are low. And now even without, the audio has not been separated out of Sue's clip, but it's still visible down here underneath in that blue line. Let me zoom in a little closer. Well, I still doesn't really see it, but you can see that her audio, it's just the little tiny blips, and you want to get it up to that line because if you'd see, Phillips is closer. The audio, that jagged stuff, that's the actual audio file or the sound, and Phil's is closer to that this line, and that line, you want to have your peaks right about that line. Now you can, well, Sue's is so hard to see that what I do in this case is you go up, there, you see up above Sue's head up there in the upper right, you got your volume. So you hit that. Now I'll hit automatic, and that kind of automatically should do something that doesn't look like it did anything to me. So then you can take this, then you have a percent bar over here next to whatever. And you see as I pull it, it's bringing her audio up. But I found that you don't want to put Sue's up above that bar. For some, it's not, this is one of the biggest bugaboos, is trying to get the audio even through many clips, because it's just, even though visually you can see where it should be close to that bar, it doesn't always translate the way you think it should.
Right, it ends up distorting.
Well, yeah, if you get up above that bar, it can distort pretty badly. So let's see if,
For
okay.
worship.
See,
And after the bowl finishes ringing, we will
see, all of a sudden that it's got a lot of echo to it. It's
Yeah.
pretty loud. So I'm gonna back off. Well,
have spirit of life this morning.
okay, I'm gonna go back.
To begin worship by ringing the bowl.
Okay, I want to select it.
The bowl. We invite you to center, to leave at the door what you can, and to come join us for worship. And
Yeah.
after the bowl,
Now, for second, just from the experience, if I put it on auto with Sue, automatic, I find that I have to go down below 50, somewhere in the 40% range, for it to jive with everything else.
Right.
bowl finishes ringing, we will have
So we'll
spirit
see
of
how it
life this morning.
transitions to Phil.
Now, right next to the speaker that you highlighted, there looks to be a graph, bar graph.
Yes.
Is that EQ for cutting, or is that for something else?
It's an equalizer. I haven't played with that too much. I've looked at it a little bit. Reduced background noise. We might be able to up the volume and reduce background noise and
Right.
take some of the echo out of Sue's. Because Sue's has a little bit of a echo behind it.
Right.
It's not a real clean sound. And you probably could play with that and do something to that effect. I have not messed with it too much. You also have over here where it says equalizer, you have reduced background noise and you have a percentage. And over here you have equalizer, and apparently you have it's a enhancement that's been pre-programmed.
Okay.
I tried messing with that a little bit. I found that it was more problematic than it was worth, so I just leave it flat, leave it the way it is, and mess with it down here. So.
All right. Well, I need to sign off right now. But what I'd like to do, maybe on Monday, I'm going to try to get into your Dropbox again. I'd like to maybe use these files and play with them in my own test situation.
Sure.
Is that possible?
That's absolutely possible, because you're not going to mess up the final recording.
Okay.
Well, you could take a copy of the final. Actually, you could take the final recording and play with that too. But no, there's no point doing that. You might as well do this.
Try to build it. Yeah. All right, cool.
Do this.
Well, thank you very, very much for your tutelage.
Yeah, I hope it you gain some insight.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, just playing with the audio thing, that was huge for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that little audio attachment was, so that's good. So I'm psyched. I'm gonna keep messing around with it.
The more you do it, it's pretty addictive actually, because then you go, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. I can do this. And then I started thinking of all those videos I have sitting around from years, kids and all kinds of stuff, trips to El Salvador, it's, I promised my wife I wouldn't bring out the windsurfing videos.
Nah.
This is what's really good for me, was that the setup was basically the same as what Don recommended, for me to try on Windows.
Right.
But I didn't have any video clips or anything. And so I'm looking at this screen and having, okay, what do I do? And now I know I put all my clips up at the top, and then I just pull them down as as one in order as I need them. And I can see, it's a slightly different, but it's the basic way of doing it is the same.
Yeah, you're probably going to
That'll
have,
make it.
you'll probably have a way to separate the audio out, and probably, yeah, exactly. Your interface will be a little different, but the game plan should be about the same.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about, Mark, the idea is so that no one person has to do all of this, particularly come summer when we are on our own. But it will be, I'll have some time to practice. I too will have to try to get all of these clips out of your Dropbox.
Okay, I'll go back under my email and see. I'll find it, because I remember seeing those basically approve your sharing that folder. I thought I had clicked on them both, but I saw both Mark's and your requests, and I'll go back over and click on them again.
Okay,
Cool.
great.
And
All right, thank you very much.
If that doesn't work, let me know, and I'll see what I can do.
I'll tune
Okay.
in tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. This has been great.
Okay. Well, thanks for participating and helping to share the load in the future, I hope.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I got to stop sharing the screen, don't I? Before I can get out of here. Okay. Okay. Great talking with you guys. Have a good day. Bye.